Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for round two here tonight in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio. And boy, I want to remind our guest about something here because all hail, because he found out firsthand that the house always wins. Round two, and boy, let's not bring up the cost of foot bill when it came to those light tubes. But ladies and gentlemen, we are certainly going to talk about why the house always wins with our guest in maybe some controversial fashions. But plus, maybe we'll talk about some cups and some places we've been to and maybe some other topics and maybe some merchandise of our own that we have to plug. And I've also got a surprise for our guest, and no, Ox McCoy's not coming on to repeatedly say throughout the telecast, all hail. No, we're not doing that. No, we're definitely not doing that tonight. I do have something, though, in store for our guest. I'll save that for a little while. I think in this case, he'll certainly like it because it's not a light tube. It's not taking something off the top rope and who knows whatever else. It's been a minute since our guest has been here, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. But in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rock, baby, because I see some fellow deathmatch and hardcore wrestlers here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show off here in style of round two of our matinee coverage on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So, with without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one sports show, a man that is one of the premier deathmatch and hardcore wrestlers around. A man who also shares a nickname with some other figures who he shared locker rooms with, who are now not so controversial. But he is the man that is simply put going to all hail tonight, though, because his name is simply put the Show One. Okay, the controversial one is here, my friend. How are we doing?
Feeling a hell of a lot better. That's for sure. Thank you for asking. How the hell are you doing, Tom?
Well, I'm not going to compare what you and Ox went through because I just had my tooth done last week, a week and a half ago. But I'm not even going to go into the pain. I'm not even going to go into what I'm going through with my nose. But I'm going to not even go there. I'm going to just shut my mouth when it comes to that question because compared to what you and Ox did at Summer Bash, I'm just going to say I'm A-okay and we're just not even going to go down that road because you are certainly the controversial one. And I don't want to turn into Anthony Steele and turn into anybody else who shares that name. So I'd rather just respectfully say I'm doing well, sir. And I hope your shoulder and I hope your scars have healed a little bit from Summer Bash and everything else in between.
Yeah, I mean, everything's doing well. And, Summer Bash,
You were like the example of Summer Bash. I mean, you realize you and Ox were getting the definition of what Summer Bash was. The two, what you did. I mean, I don't even want to know who covered the bill for the light tubes. I mean, I'm sure we're still paying for that right now.
I think there was probably almost 100 light tubes or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that was one brutal light tube war, sort of say. I think
Power Rangers would have been proud. I mean, certainly. I heard it was the Green Ranger's birthday the other day, Tommy, and I'm sure up from the heavens he would have been very proud. But I don't think he was in that kind of business. He was more in the saber-tooth lights. You guys did more to your skin.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. For round 2 between us, I thought for sure I would have had it in the bag, but again, psycho brain of his turned out to be unbeatable that day.
Well, all hail, but the house always wins. You were in the House of Wolves compound. I mean, Kato, I know you brought Naomi, and Naomi found out firsthand why the house always wins, but what were you thinking? Because you were going into basically Ox's home turf. I mean, this was the first time we were in the Wolves compound in this present day IMF, and I mean, you had to know that you were going to be at a disadvantage. I'm going to put the match up in a couple of minutes, and I'm sure Ox will be very happy and some others to relive it.
I knew I was going into a disadvantage. However, I wasn't expecting.
Are you waiting for Ox or Omen behind you? They're not here tonight. Ox is in the chat.
No, you know, the craziest thing, I'm looking at the moon. I'm looking at my backyard. I heard some weird ass noise. I thought it was my dog. I forgot he's in the house.
It's probably just there was probably remnants of my long intro in the war chant. So that's probably what it was, I'm sure.
It might, you know what? It might be these damn aliens. Who knows?
I did see that, by the way. I did see your post on Facebook a few weeks ago. And if it makes you feel better, Sammy Hagar famously once was on Howard Stern and talked about how he saw aliens, he saw them all above, and he was a believer. So there might be something out there, not just those light tubes you took from Ox, but there could be some things that, well, we can't explain, more or less. Ask Sammy Hagar, of all people.
Yeah. It's crazy because the stars didn't align that day between me and Ox. And honestly, yeah, I came into his house, but you know what? It was on his terms. I kind of have this feeling that it's going to be the third that I'm going to knock his ass out.
Well, the third time, I hope for Jurgi's sake, is a charm. And they do say, listen, it's very hard to beat someone 3 times. I'll certainly, maybe talk about that in a minute. But let's get to it. I think people here want to see the match. I see Mickey Vargas was actually saying, well, where's Kato? And I'm like, well, he's here now. So I'm sure there'll be others that'll want to see it. So I'm going to put it up here shortly because, that's what we do here on Sportswire. So let me get to it. And for those that are listening and watching, we'll go down memory lane, although I'm sure your shoulders and your head doesn't want to. But Ox is here, and he did give me a shirt, and he basically said, look, if you don't play this match, I'm going to knock on your door. I'm going to basically tear you up, and I'm going to basically make sure what the dentist did to you is going to be basically paling into comparison to what I do to you, and the house will always win. So, yeah, I'm instructed by house rules to play it, and you have arrived to the House of Wolves compound, and you are here, and you are not here alone, obviously.
No, and let's be honest, I had to put a couple back for this match because I was a little nervous coming into his home.
You're 20 plus years better. You're not nervous. Stop it.
I mean, I'm coming into his farm. I'm coming onto his home turf. I mean, hell yeah, I was a little nervous. Looking at all those light tubes, I started getting happy. Like, I started thinking, damn, I did Carnage Cup. Fuck, I can do this shit. I survived a hell of a lot of stuff. But, again, his home turf, and I kind of got, taken out of spot for a minute.
Okay, I gotta ask you that. Interesting point. We know Carnage Cup. We know you've done Natural State Wrestling. We know you've done a lot in your career. So, how did this environment in this match with Ox compared to, let alone the first time you guys squared off? And yeah, I know some people might want to see that. I do too, but we have to skip this ad because we are a family station. I know she's a pretty lady, but I mean, listen, Facts are, you've done a lot in your career. Carnage Cup, Natural State Wrestling recently. You've been in there with the big names. NEW last year. There, All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. The first time you wrestled Ox. But how does this compare in this environment to what you've done in your career?
Oh wow, that's a hard question to answer, I guess.
I hope it's not as hard as the light tubes you took.
I mean, I've been through war and held them back and big wars. It just felt out of place being that I was coming in as the underdog. And for sure, I thought I had the advantage the first go around at Cage.
Yeah, Raging the Cage.
But then we come here and I was feeling good for a minute up until he got the upper hand. And it was crazy. Like, I tried to shake it off and I tried my absolute best. But it was fucking blazing hot. I mean, it was like 105 degrees or something like that.
I know the weather was crazy, right? It rained. It was rain toward the end of the match. Humid there.
Yeah.
All the guys have been on there since, and it was crazy.
And I mean, look at him right there trying to tear up my flesh and rip my skull open. I mean, it took a lot for me to get him down in the beginning, and I think I did a hell of a good job maintaining composure through the match. I got kicked him right in the gut right there. And then we go right to the gusset plates, and he's bleeding worse than me.
Yeah, that was, what? I'm not even, I was going to show you my mouth gauge still from the blood I had from the dentist last week, but I'm not going to do that here on Sportswire. I could, but that was basically the only thing I got in me. But yeah, I mean, you got off to the quick start. I could certainly see the strategy of trying to go for a quick start, especially in a foreign territory. You're almost the road team, so I could definitely see why you wanted that fast start.
Yeah, and I mean, what was going through my mind at this point was try to do absolutely everything to get him down in the beginning, and I think I went a little too hard, too fast, and took my mind out of the game. That was it.
Yeah.
And that, as I'm trying to go back in the ring, catch my own bearings, I ended up giving his ass some more time to breathe.
And you are the veteran. You are the veteran who's been in so many big environments, big match atmospheres, and you gave Ox some time to recover, and that's gonna help him stay in this match.
Yeah, I mean, and I for sure thought he was trying to kill me right here by putting me through all the tubes, but I almost took his ass back over into the ring as well.
The tube you used on the outside like a minute ago, I've never seen a tube like that before. Did you just, like, I don't know, break it off in half or something, or what?
After I smashed him in the head, yeah. I mean, yeah. I cleared out the dust and I tried to cut him open from ear to ear.
Yeah, I could see that, and he just kept saying "all hail." I mean, that's all he has to say. I mean, I could say the F part, but I'm gonna let you guys do that. But no, listen, I mean, I'm surprised you both didn't pass out from the amount of blood there. I mean, just what you guys put each other through, and what he's about to do to you here in a second. I mean, I rewatched it before we went on the air because I had some time, and I'm just surprised you both didn't pass out.
Yeah, like, and right here, what he did to me, I thought I was done. I thought I cracked my my sternum because the way he kicked me. Those tubes drove into me, cut my chest open, and let's be honest, Ox ain't no small guy, And
you said it, not me. You said it, not me. I want to make sure, Kato, you are on the record for that, not me.
Hey, I'm on 100% of the record. I mean, this was by far one of my toughest challenges yet. Within the last 10 years. I mean, he's been in my head towards the end of the matches, and it was getting to me. And I just, I took my mind out of the game.
Why?
Very good.
You've been I've seen you in other places. I've seen you, go out there. We've seen you back and forth with Jimmy Controversy. Last year, we talked about you in Power Surge. I mean, I'm surprised you'd say such a comment like that.
Well, I guess when I came in, I was too cocky, and I knew that. I knew that from the get go. I thought I could hype it up and keep that cockiness going, but shortly after we started, it was like trying to take a damn bull down by his horns. I mean, it took a shit ton out of me.
Yeah, Sean Jovi, who was on commentary, was talking about it. He was talking about what he went through in facing Ox McCoy. And we've seen all these different guys. Omen, obviously, who's out, the house always wins. He's been in the ring with him. And I've heard other guys come on here and attempt to talk about it. Nicholas Crenson, I won't make Ox even further mad, but you go up here, you go off the top rope, and it was a pretty move there. I mean, they call you guys hardcore wrestlers, but I tell you what, they just call you guys hardcore wrestlers, but that was a pretty move there.
I had to take a book out of the Usos for a minute. I had to go and drop a splash on them, man.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you definitely did. I mean, you definitely you splashed them, and well, you're trying to splash some more light tubes over them, and yeah, like I said, they're probably still in the House of Wolves compound, footing the bill and picking up the tab when it comes to those light tubes there. And you guys definitely could be the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but instead you're the Mighty Morphin Hardcore Wrestlers of Summer Bash. And we're watching Summer Bash right now. Literally, these guys are the definition of it. Home run derby. Here we are between Ox McCoy, the IMF Hardcore Champion, and the BMF Hardcore Champion, the one and only Kato, the controversial one. And we'll get to everybody here in the chat in a few minutes. But I mean, I got to be honest with you. For a match that was 10 minutes, whatever it was, you put your body through so much. How do you stay in there and keep up with the amount of action you've went through and offense and such?
Honestly, I think it's the adrenaline one. It's the fear of losing. See, I don't fear too many things in this life. I sure as fuck don't fear men, and I sure as hell I fear my wife. How about that?
Well, Naomi is definitely Naomi can mix it up with only Mickey Knuckles could top what Naomi does out there in the hardcore circuit for the females. Just put it that way.
Yep, and I mean, I put it in. I install it every time I step foot in a match like this. I fear losing, and I fear losing. To me, is the most adrenaline driven sentence or word I can say.
Really?
I put that in the back of my mind that if I lose, then I'm nothing compared to him. So every match I put that in my head, and I just drive it. I drive it. Doesn't matter how many times that I drive it into my head. Whether I lose, win, or draw, I mean, that's just what motivates me.
Would you also say it's because Ox is a contemporary? Ox is a guy that has a lot of similarities and experience and what he does in the ring, and he's a guy. We talked about this. You guys were like yin and yang. We talked about how you guys were evenly matched. You were here a few months ago, and you guys literally were evenly matched. If you were playing Madden, you guys would both have the same score. You'd have the same wide receiver abilities, the throwing abilities, running abilities, all that good stuff in between. And is that also a part of it?
Yeah, I mean, we're so similar in different aspects. I mean, we're similar in how we try to do ground and pound, and we're similar in our styles of pain. And I think I tried to approach this match with a different style, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, it obviously, you might need to go back to the drawing board and maybe bring the drawing board with you to hit it over the head with Ox for you. But I mean, yeah, that's going to certainly be all she wrote. And you were, down. That was basically down goes Kato, and you were
and
down.
You know what?
Down.
Yeah, she had a nice little gash on her shoulder as well from him hitting her with a light tube.
Well, That was
her very first war wound, which is crazy.
I know because she's been in this now for a while, and that's the first one. And I mean, the first of
And
well,
what's even more freakier about it
yeah.
is after this match, soon as he was getting ready to leave the ring, the rain just instantly started pouring.
I
We could
know
have used it.
commentary. Listen, the Prophet Jordan Crowley and Sean Jovi. We're basically talking about the rain will just wash away the blood. I mean, maybe that was a good thing for you guys. But maybe in your case, did you guys want it to rain or no?
Honestly, when it first started, I just looked at the ref. I said, I wish it would rain because it was that hot. I mean, hell, let's just be honest. TOD happened and they were in the middle of a lightning storm.
Yeah, I know. Here, you know what? That's a good point. Tournament of Death is Jake was out there, Jimmy was out there, Eric Black, my friend Eric Black was out there. I mean, a lot of people were in TOD, and yeah, here in New York, we got it. Yeah, that was in a lightning storm. Yeah, definitely.
And what's
Yeah.
crazy was we had really killer weather today, and I didn't even take advantage of it really.
Maybe because you knew that Kato were going to be here, and that Ox was going to be here. You wanted to be in the same spirit you were in Summer Bash 3. I have no idea. I mean, I feel sorry for you. Why didn't you take advantage of it? I mean, I could have took advantage for you if you liked.
Well, I mean, honestly, I was catching up on some well-needed rest from.
Oh, that helps.
I finally got my last MRI today.
I was going to ask you about that. I know you were on the shelf for a while. I saw that you wrestled. You and I were talking about this off the air because I remember seeing it on Facebook. You wrestled, I think, a couple of weeks after this. You wrestled over at, I think, Total Chaos Wrestling. You wrestled Kato. You were in the ring with Chase Naley and Ryan Von Rock. And Ryan, you definitely rocked it out there. But have you been in the ring since? I think you did a promo, right? Over at
yeah,
an IWA thing?
So the match prior to working in Indiana at Total Chaos Wrestling, I was at IWA Productions here in Mount Vernon, Illinois.
I saw that.
Had a killer match with Chris Cutler. However, the freaking PYT Pink Nerds decided to cheat, and they got away with trying to rip me off and make me lose my match. I was actually on a winning streak to gain my contract back. And then they cheated, but at the end of the night, I got Mr. Old Billy Ray back because they decided to cheat in my match. I came out there and I bullied my way to him, Mr. Billy Ray, and cut him down a few sizes and shaved his freaking head.
Well, you know what? He had an achy, breaky heart there. I mean, that's what he had.
And then following that, I had a severe stinger. I go to Evansville, Indiana for TCW. Wrestling Ryan Von Rocket and what was his name?
Chase. Yeah, I listen. Yep. I needed the scorecard to remember. You and I talked about this off the air, so yeah.
And it was going great.
Yeah.
And then I did a Pele and snapped my arm.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you won't be practicing Pele kicks anymore.
And the crazy thing is, I've been doing it pretty much on and off my entire career.
Yeah, I've seen you do it before in some other matches in other places. I've seen you do it.
And the screwed up part about it was it completely dislocated and then popped back in place.
Oh.
So I believe I have a small tear, and I think I don't know how to phrase it. It might be some calcifications in my elbow, but it might also have a cross tendon, which can be repaired. But then fast forward, get to what was it, last week's show at Mount Vernon, Illinois, at IWA Productions, and I come out there to address the fans, and here we go again. PYT Tobias Storm comes in, hits me from behind, snatches me up by my arm, and snaps my elbow again.
They could play Operation with you, boy.
Pretty much. However, what they failed to do is finish the damn job.
Mm.
Because quite honestly, this elbow is actually good.
Oh,
It
oh.
may be freaking sore, and it may still be a little bit injured, but it ain't gonna do nothing but knock somebody the hell out.
I think this is what you want to do to them, Kato. You want to,
I've been waiting.
bang bang.
I've been waiting for it. And when I knock them out, I'm gonna sign my freaking contract all over Billy Ray's head, and then I'm gonna continue to go to the top and get what is owed to me: a title opportunity, a title shot, and I'm gonna get it. Not then, and only then, I'm unstoppable.
Ooh, he's definitely the controversial one for a reason. Kato's coming back to the ring, and ladies and gentlemen, he's definitely got some people in his sights, and that's why you need to keep up to date with him, especially on Instagram and some other things that we're going to talk about shortly. And I'll put that link up. But I got to ask you, since I see my hall monitor here, Justin Parsley, who's here on Thursday, how far are you from Parsley to Indiana, Evansville? I mean, did you guys? That would have been fun if you guys would have linked up with old Parsley, the whole monitor.
Evansville, I'm an hour and a half away.
Oh, well, I mean,
so not far at all.
Mr. Parsley, maybe he should have got the memo. But speaking of things that I got a memo for while I'm with you is so what's going on with you in Carnage Cup? I mean, obviously we're waiting for that, but I see a lot of familiar faces. How about this guy Madman Pondo, and then Bryant Woods and Necro Butcher, and then the guy you've certainly got a history with, and Jimmy Controversy. Speaking of Tournament of Death, and speaking of people who are going to be in Connecticut tomorrow for our old friend Gabe Sayers' show, and yeah, Jimmy Controversy's on that poster, and I'm waiting for the controversial one Kato to be on the poster soon, hopefully as well.
There's 2 more spots left open on to call out. Now, I'm not quite sure, but I'm hoping my number comes up. Because this year there's a lot of I got to say to Jimmy, and I just might knock his ass out before the tournament starts. However, I got a point to prove.
Mm-hmm.
I got a big point to prove. Last year at Carnage Cup, I got taken out by Neil Diamond Cutter, which is fine. Hell of an opponent to get taken out of the tournament by, and greatly respect that dude. But I would like to actually get my hands on a couple guys there, and I like to try try to test the strength, see where I can go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look again, just going through the field real quick. I mean, obviously Tarzan's in there, a man that's been on my platform, Tarzan Duran, and Rad Dad, who's been in the ring with Jimmy Controversy recently, actually a few times, and we talked about Tarzan and Rad and Tarzan did a thing a few years back. Obviously, the legendary Madman Pondo's here in this, and I mean, Bobby V's in it. Everybody knows him, and you got certainly Necro Butcher I spoke about earlier, and we spoke about Tommy Trainwreck in the past. You know him very well. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, listen, there's just so many big names here, and it's coming up. It's crazy because I remember talking with you last year about last year's Carnage Cup, and now here we are, and we're like less than 2 months away from this year's Carnage Cup. It just, to me, it's crazy how time flies.
Yeah, it's a full circle around. What's cool about it is, I've had the privilege to sit back and get to see who's all on the show. And if my number's called up, I studied a lot of these guys that I haven't seen in my circle yet. And there's quite a few guys I just want to put the challenge up. I want to get to it, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we'd certainly want to see you in Carnage Cup, and especially with, again, a lot of names that we're very familiar with here on the platform we spoke about. And Kato is on Instagram, so go out there and give him a follow if you haven't yet. Also follow Naomi, and we got something for you too in a little bit. But I'll get to the chat shortly, and please support Kato, and he'll be returning to the ring very shortly. So let me get to some people here in the chat. I know you're a busy man. Zilla's here first. Thank you, Zilla. Zilla was with me before. I had on a guy from Portugal earlier tonight, Paulo Cruz, and she was here in the chat. She wants to say hello. And yes, the railroad's out there, so hopefully the train is moving. And Chase Wakefield, speaking of people that had big shows outside, he would like to say good evening. He's in your chair in 2 weeks. Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Chase. And now this guy I want to bring up, Mickey Vargas. Mickey Vargas, who is now moved a little closer to where you are. He's in Texas now, and he just was in the ring not too long ago on the same show with this guy Masada. You probably heard of him, and apparently now he would like some of you. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, you and Mickey Vargas. Mickey Vargas is just, I mean, you want to talk about guys that have just like literally blown up. And I basically mean that literally over the past year. To me, this would be the definition of that. And, Mickey Vargas is a guy that was in here, as I stated, with the photo about the show, with this man, Masada. And I wonder, like, what would you think about that opportunity to see Mickey Vargas, maybe this time in near your neck of the woods?
Hell, I would freaking love it. I mean, I'd say let's do it. Let's sign that shit up and let's run it. I'm down. I mean, he had a killer time as far as what I seen of that.
Yeah.
And hell, I mean, it'd be cool to see
Texas
where we can go.
Now. I mean, he literally went from my state basically to go all the way cross country with no connection, no nothing, moved down there, and now he's like he's on his way to being a big star. I mean, he's like really talk about guys that have just went up through the roof. I mean, he's like right up at that list.
Yeah, and I mean, he's earning it, and that's great. I'm proud. I'm proud of people when they get the chance to showcase who the hell they really are.
Yeah.
It took a lot for me to get out of the grime and the situation I was back in years and years ago, and I'm just glad to see people kind of getting recognition way earlier than 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. No, definitely Mickey's one of those guys. And we had on one of Mickey's opponents a week and a half ago, the Big Hoss, who was here, and he had a lot to say. And I'm sure Mickey, when he comes back here soon, will have even more to say, because I'm highly anticipating his return between now and the next month. So we'll see. I'm sure somebody out there will put you and Mickey Vargas in a ring together. As a matter of fact, Mickey even wants Ox McCoy. I mean, so Mickey's, you know what? He's going all for broke. What might as well. I mean, if he went to Texas, he might as well. And I hear apparently he's been meeting up with D'Angelo the Flame. And man, you've been in a locker room with a few times. So those guys are making hay. And speaking of other people that have been on the platform, Joey Knight Jr., who's here on Friday, and Mickey's been on a show with him. So what a small world it is here on Sportswire. You never know who you see in a ring, and you're like, oh, I saw you on Sportswire. This man is here. You knew he would be here. And all hail, because the house always wins. And Ox would love to see Mickey Vargas, and I would love to see him too against you, or even Ox McCoy. And maybe a triple threat between you three. I mean, that'd be something different. I mean, the ring may not withstand all that, but who knows?
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
since you're on here right now, Mr. McCoy. If we don't get an outside show. If we get an outside show, all pane glass match, then we'll see what's up. If we don't, I want an all-out similar style Texas death match.
Oh.
Either way, these two matches, you can choose one or the other. And let me remind you, I almost had you the first one. The second one, you took me out of my mind and out of my element. There ain't going to be a third. because I don't give a shit about your title right now. The third one is just a one-on-one man up. And if I so win, I get the next opportunity to wrestle you for your freaking hardcore title. And that time, it's going to be over, bitch.
Kate, are you sure, though? Because you know the toughest thing to do is to go out a third time and wrestle someone. And Ox has already beaten you twice. I mean, he's done this over and over. Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm more than sure. Because beat me once, shame on me. Beat me twice, shame on you. But you ain't going to beat me the third time because I ain't going to let it happen. You see, the difference between me and Ox already has it set. You know, oh, I'm going to squash him. I'm going to beat him. I already beat him twice. You see, Ox, I played your games. Now it's time that you join mine. I'm making the two stipulations. You can choose one or the other. But I guarantee you this. You won't make it out alive. I promise you. You're going to be on your last breath. And then when I get that opportunity again for your title, I'm going to finish it. And I promise.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, Kato is the controversial one for a reason. In fact, he's channeling his own inner Anthony Steele because he's going for it all. He wants it all. And it's no pain, no gain, as the old adage. Kato is going for that. It could be glass. It could be pain, death match. You name it, bunkhouse brawl, whatever it may be. Kato will do whatever it takes.
I'll even throw you this. Dog collar match.
Dog collar match. Did you just see Omen Black and Damian Saint did that? Damian Saint, he's never gonna be the same after that again. Are you sure you want to go with what we just saw tonight with you and what Ox McCoy did at Summer Bash 3? You sure you can handle that?
I'm ready. You see, all this time that I've had off, all this relaxation and therapy that I've been getting, it opened my mind. It made me a little bit more clear-headed. And I started thinking and I started digging deep in my soul and figuring out what is it that I really want. I don't want just Ox McCoy's blood anymore. No. I want to finish what Ox McCoy can't. You see, Ox, you beat me, and you beating me down. But the problem is, I still kept standing back up. You see, you didn't knock me down for good. No. What you did was drive something deeper into my soul. Something deeper that woken the devil up. And it's something that you're going to have to live with and regret for the rest of your days.
The end of days for Ox McCoy? We thought, ladies and gentlemen, it was the house always wins. We thought it was all effing hell, but not so fast. Kato's the controversial one for a reason, and, well, he's coming out swinging because light tubes couldn't bring him down. Baseball bats couldn't bring Naomi down. Gashes, scars, wounds, it all won't bring Kato down because it's going to be till death do us part because Kato wants Ox McCoy one more time, and they say the third time's a charm, and it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, Kato wants one more with Ox McCoy, and it's not even about the IMF Hardcore Championship. It's not even about Kato's Hardcore Championship. It's now about personal scores to be settled, and I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to see that match. Where will it be? When will it be? We'll have to stay tuned. But I'll tell you what, by any means necessary, we need to see that match. That's all I got to say about that. Let's get to the rest of the chat because Kato is coming out swinging, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Zilla. Thank you. Ox, yes. And he also wants to say he's a bleeder. That's why you sure you wanted. He's a bleeder.
Oh, yeah.
And Justin Parsley does want to say the hall monitor says that you're the man, to be honest.
I appreciate that.
Leave it to Justin Parsley to totally get us off topic and throw a curveball of comments and holds his own inside and outside that ring. Yeah, he does it. It's funny. You should only be the controversial one going forward because Anthony Steele used to be the most controversial figure. He was the guy all about controversy, but he's not even that controversial anymore because I've even seen he's even helping out after shows. He's even helping out, tearing down the ring now. I mean, you're the true controversial one. Anthony Steele, he used to drop bars. He used to shut companies down, but now he's accepted the fact that, well, he's got to help tear down the ring. I mean, you are now only the controversial one. You're the sole controversial member that comes on Sportswire, some would say.
Yeah, you can't even consider the other guy that uses the other term.
Yeah, because Wyatt Black, he's a little kid. Yeah, he's a little kid.
Yeah, a lunatic. He's probably not just a lunatic. I mean, I think he's a little bipolar, schizophrenic, and I don't know, a little loony bin for anybody's saneness. But with saying that, moving forward, I mean, I cannot wait. I can't wait to see what happens for Carnage Cup.
Yeah, I tell you what, me too. I mean, I'm very excited about the Carnage Cup and, everything else in between with that, because that's going to be very exciting and, just a lot to talk about with you. And I did want to actually pull up something for our chat because it's obviously been a big topic and you have obviously, certainly, seen it as well. And I did want to remind people of, something out there that I think people might have seen already. I just want to find the footage because I want to get your take on it. I want to get your take on it, and, Kato, because you would obviously have probably never seen this. You must be seeing things, but this is, that's not it. That's not it. But how about this? I mean, there he is. He's no longer controversial anymore. You've been in multiple locker rooms with him. You've heard about him shutting down companies, but now he's humble. He's now become just like everybody else in a locker room. He's helping tear down the ring. I mean, Anthony Steele he's a good guy after all. He's okay. I mean, he's not what they said about him all those years. I mean, what did you think about that?
One, I got to say, who the hell chin checked him for real? Two, did he all of a sudden finally find a girl that can, maybe keep him on a level?
I'm gonna say that's your words. No comment on that part. But Anthony Steele, I mean, it's such a moment. I mean, this is a moment. Anthony Steele is a man of the people after all. He is a man of the people working hard like everybody else does after a show. And Kato, I mean, I guess he's really changed. He really has changed after all. He really has changed. And you've been in multiple locker rooms with him. You would know firsthand, maybe as well as anybody.
Maybe changed as far as helping wise. That's wonderful. But I still have a sneaky suspicion that his attitude didn't.
Well, Omen Black would probably agree with you on that because Omen Black is getting him in the ring in 3 weeks. So Omen and you share a rare agreement there on that. But we'll move on. Anthony Steele, he was here at Sportswire, and until he said a few different things about outside companies, he was rather humble. He was humble. And speaking of people who are humble, Ox McCoy would like to say, how's that hole I put in Naomi's back healing up?
You know what? I don't think you succeeded like you think you did, because that hole cleaned up and healed up within a week.
Oh,
so sucks for you to know that you don't know what's gonna really happen, do you, Ox? You don't just quite get it. You see, you're not only dealing with me, but now you're dealing with a pissed off psycho screamer named Naomi Nightmare. And the anger that she has towards you, well, let's just say you might want to stay out of her way the whole entire show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going down that road. Naomi, we've seen her mix it up in other places, and certainly in the IMF, especially at Rage in the Cage. And something tells me Naomi is going to have some rage that's going to come out here, almost like Chris Cornell, God rest his soul, belting out Rusty Cage. Yeah, I'm going to break here to some more comments, to quote Chris Cornell. Hit the sub button for the IMF for more coverage, and hello to Justin Parsley. Also, give Kato a follow on Instagram. Also here, the Reverend Tom Bryce. I did not see the ending of DBW, but I'm here with Kato right now. And speaking of things about deals, Ox McCoy says, round 3, it's on.
Good. I'm happy you accepted this. Now we'll just have to wait to see what your fate's gonna lay out.
And certainly win, because Ox is gonna always say the house always wins, and all effing hail, and that's all he has to say.
I'll even do him one better. Hell, I'll even invite you over to my house, and we can do it right there in that backyard.
I mean, that's a first. I mean, now, that's a good point, Kato, because you went to, Ox's home, but now you want Ox to come to your home, and that could even the odds, because last I checked, you haven't had home field advantage in both these matches. You've been the road team both times, so now you want to level the playing field by Ox coming to your home, to, the controversial compound here.
And I'll even sweeten up the pot. If he wants to come down here, I'll even buy his hotel.
Whoa! And do the crazy neighbors come included?
Yeah, crazy neighbors come included. Hell, I'll even sell hot dogs and soda and chips.
You'll
I'll
even
make
give
it
the handshake? Because with the hot dog, the handshake.
I'll make it a 60-minute time limit match.
Are you trying to kill each other now? 60 minutes? I mean, Foley and Terry Funk didn't even do that 30 years ago in Japan. You sure you want to do 60 minutes?
I'll go 60. Hell, we can even take it to the lake down the road. We'll do 2 hours. I'll beat your ass on a boat. I'll beat your ass on the beach, and I'll beat your ass in my backyard.
Are you sure? Listen, this. What are you saying? You want to fight till really death do us part?
Yeah, it does sound like a party, and I'm excited for that party. Hey, if he beats me down in my own backyard, I'm going to have to sit there and look at that man as he's standing over me, which he won't. I'll shake his freaking hand right there on the spot. If it happens in my backyard, hell yeah. If he can beat me in my own home turf, I'll shake his freaking hand. Goddamn train.
Challenge has certainly been laid out, and it looks like the IMF Hardcore Champion Ox McCoy has accepted that challenge. And I mean, I guess we'll have to find out when and where that'll, we know where, but when will it take place? So who really knows? But, I know you're a busy man, Kato, but I did have something for you. And I wanted to give this to you. No, I'm not giving you some light foods. No, I'm not giving you some staples, but I did want to do this. And I'm sure you did bring up Naomi, and I'm sure Naomi will accept this as well, because I'm putting you both in the Hall of Fame at the same time. I know you're both in the Hall of Fame already, but you both are controversial. She's a nightmare. She's already in a bad mood, and let me keep her less of in a bad mood, at least when it comes to my platform. And I'm putting you both in the Hall of Fame for a second time. So yeah, the house may always win. Ox may have given me a shirt, but Kato, it's your night. Naomi's out there. I'm sure you can let her know. And congratulations.
Yeah, wow. I mean, again, honored, Tom. Damn it. Honored. And by the way, since Naomi's at work, she does say hi, and she does say this. Ox, be prepared to get your ass whooped.
Oh boy. Naomi's working, and she's working hard to come back and saying to Ox McCoy, well, you got a deal, and Let's Make a Deal was a great game show, but it seems like, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't no game show. This ain't no fun and games, to quote Axl Rose in the opening verse of Welcome to the Jungle, because we are going to see Ox McCoy and Kato this time mano a mano in a different environment, and we'll have to find out when that'll take place. But I, for one, am speaking on behalf of many that watched the first 2 matches that I am certainly excited. We all are, and you need to follow Kato on Instagram and check him out. and he's in the Hall of Fame for a second time alongside Naomi. And I did want to remind people he's got some merchandise on his own right that you need to check out. It's thank you to Vinny, and you can check it out here because we got some merchandise. All right, you got to check it out, and here you go. We got Naomi's shirt right there. There you go. There's Naomi's. And she's definitely the scream queen. She can definitely belt out a few barbed wire shots to somebody. She can definitely scream a few tunes when it comes to somebody's head. And that's her shirt. Check that out. And also, if you want to get, of course, the man, the myth, the one and only controversial one, Kato. That is some pretty design, by the way, I got to say. Pretty design. And yeah, go get your own shirt as well, everybody. Go and
I'm actually ecstatic about the backside of that shirt.
I can click at it right here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Yes, you are definitely deathmatch approved. There you go. Oof. There you go. I forgot that button exists. But yeah, I tell you what, check it out. And you can do that right here. And we'll certainly be looking forward to more from you and returning to the ring soon. And yes, thank you, Zilla. They're in the Hall of Fame once again. I just thought it'd be kind of, ironic. Ox gives me a shirt and I put you in the Hall of Fame alongside Kato again. And yeah, we need that. And yeah, maybe you both wear each other's shirts this time in the third match. That would be so ironic. But that was a great Alana Sports. But okay, obviously I've talked about a number of different things, but is there anything else you want to talk about tonight? Anything else you want to get off your chest?
Well, let's see. In fact, we'll mention a couple things. I've been created and invited to a lot of the wrestling streams.
Yes, I have it right here in front of me. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I have it right here in front of me.
What's crazy is you got SPW. Oh man, there's a couple of them that I would have to put them up on my social media because again, I've been a little bit out of tune with.
Oh, you've been recovering. Yeah, you're recovering from what happened in the last few months, and it's all good. Family stuff too.
But there is one Game Changer Live that just got posted and went up. So that's another one. I think there was KCW. Another one of those
here in front of me. I got SPW.
In fact, that was a match that me and I believe what was it, Brian White.
Yes, who's been here with you before in the past. Yes, good old Brian White.
So it's a really cool platform. I for one am honored that I got asked to be part of this. Never thought I'd seen myself in like a video game statue, and it's really cool, man. I really enjoy the matches, the graphics, everything about the programming is so pretty damn cool, man.
Yeah, I noticed some of the NEW crew. Obviously, you were up there last year, and they've been in some content like that. I saw Jake, I saw Joe Starr, I saw a bunch of them, Raya Silver. I saw a lot of them also get characters. I think it's really cool, and I think wrestling and video games just go so hand in hand with each other.
That, and it gives me another way to keep myself fresh and updated on evolving myself as far as my inner character wise, and it helps out a lot. I mean, to do one aspect of professional wrestling and then to see yourself in a different life form, it's crazy. It's intense.
Yeah, it's really cool. No, it's really cool. Unfortunately, I really haven't gotten into the video game world in a few years. But
hey, there's that big guy. Yep. Wild Man Beat, one of my best friends, man.
Yep, I saw that on Facebook too. I saw it on Facebook and I liked it, and and it was good that you got a chance to catch up with him.
Yeah, man. We in fact just hung out with Beast a couple weeks ago. Right?
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. I saw it.
Yeah, we visited my family back in Wisconsin and got to hang out with my parents for 2 damn days. Drinking
2 days was enough with your parents, right? 2 days was enough.
No, you know what? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a mama's boy. I love my mom.
Okay,
man.
Okay.
I was born and bred by my mama, and she taught me a lot of shit. She taught me a lot of shit in life. Right. Same with my wonderful, awesome stepfather, father. who raised me and taught me a lot of wonderful things, man. And it was great to see them. And then, coming back home, I got a chance to stop and say, hang out with my best friend and eat lunch, eat some Mexican food. So I was
Oh,
happy
nice,
with that.
nice, nice. That's really cool. Now, listen, my mom's always like, "Please get off Sportswire." Right? I'm only kidding. No, she once in a while tunes in. She just thinks, it's good. That's great. I'm happy that you got a chance to see somebody, and that's what it's about. And I love what you and Naomi do. Is you go, and we've talked about this before in prior shows, is that you guys go with the kids, and you go to different places, and you take in those family trips. You get a chance to absorb all that stuff and all these different places that you go to. I always think that's really cool.
I think as a family man and people who have family in general, as far as being in wrestling and
Yeah.
not saying anything else about it, I think personally, if you can make the time to do your professional career and travel with your family, it's great when you make time to actually do the extracurriculars. I mean,
Yeah.
like we're in beginning of October, we're my very first show back in the last couple of months in Total Chaos Wrestling.
Yes.
Um, we're going to the caves. We went to
Nice.
the zoo. We went to the zoo last time, and that was freaking amazing. I got
I
to
saw
feed a
that. I
freaking
saw
got to feed a damn giraffe.
that. I did see that.
Wow, and their freaking tongues, they're like it's crazy. But it was fun because I got to share that with my kids.
Yeah.
And we get to travel to weird places like the world's biggest truck stop. What is that in
I did see
Iowa?
that. I remember that. Yeah.
That was cool, man. That was really cool. So I mean, just to get to do all these things with my family, and sometimes my kids don't watch the real violent shit. Sometimes they stay because it's not as rated R as other shows, but
Yeah, just in case that anybody thought you and Ox was rated G, it's actually not.
yeah, no, we're rated R.
No, but that's cool though. You know what, and I know Justin's got kids and family because I know Justin very well, and I know that he tries his best to have them a part of it. I think that's great that you and Naomi involve the family so much with that, and I look at it for my own sake. Obviously, I from afar didn't have those opportunities. I didn't do those things, but I think it's great that you, by going out with what you've done in your career, traveling to these different places, get to have those moments with the family. And maybe, before we get to closing those, that kind of may mean more to you than the wins and losses, because those are moments that nobody can take away or only the family can share. That's a bond that you're all going to have, 20, 30, 40 years from now when you're no longer competing and such.
Yeah, I mean, I get to share my ups and my downs with my kids at times, and when it's up, it's amazing because they're happy, I'm happy, my wife's happy, and we really take it all in. Like when I went to Memphis and I won my title there.
Yeah.
We went to freaking Nashville and hung out and visited all the awesome bands and bars.
Yes.
Got to check out Blake Shelton, Kid Rock, and
That's pretty cool.
Jason Aldean and all that.
Yep.
So it's a cool thing that my kids can get to see this certain side of what I do for a professional career. They get to enjoy some of the benefits that come along with traveling. I try to make it as anytime, and I've been this way for the last, I don't know, 12, 15 years out of my 20 some odd career. But I've kept that where I want to see landmarks. I want to see like historical shit.
It goes
I
by
think,
so quick, man. It goes by. I think that's what it is. You'd only, you talked about music, and I get all these bands on, and it's like they're in their 60s, in some cases their 70s, and it's like the time, it's fleeting. You might as well want to enjoy, especially what you as a wrestler, you get it because you're out there going to these different places, whether it's Indiana, Ohio, Iowa, Illinois, and Arkansas and Tennessee and all these places you've been, and you might as well go out there and take it all in, because it's just time is such fleeting. Dave Mustaine famously sang on the last song of the album Risk. He said, time waits for no one. And that's really the truth. And it's great that you and Naomi with the kids get to, have those moments.
Yeah, because I mean, again, I'm a Christian guy, baptized, reborn again, but I believe in a strong. Wow, damn, moon is crazy. I believe. Sorry,
I can see why
I
you
believe.
believe in aliens and UFOs. Like I said, it's okay. I mean, Sammy Hagar said they're out there, so if he said it, I'm gonna go with it. So I got you.
But I believe in this. I try to tell my kids as much truth as possible about life. I don't. I'm one of those type of dads. I don't spank my kids, but I discipline them to the point where I'm very strict and stern.
Yeah.
But I tell them this: live your life a day at a time, because you don't know what you're not promised tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So have fun, enjoy things that you can, and don't let the little things get to you, because I did that for a long time in my life and it got me nowhere.
Absolutely.
Now I'm happy and I get to share this with my kids. I mean, there's no greater feeling than that.
No, that's awesome. No, listen, and that's a great point. Listen, I mean, just one day at a time. I always live by that. I always live by that since I'm in high school. I never get my economics teacher, Mr. Cullen, was always like, the day was successful, long as I had $5 in my pocket to have enough money to go out to eat. And I've always lived by that adage, and I think that that's a great thing, and I think that that's why obviously we're excited about the future for you. And we will go one day at a time to you and Ox McCoy one more time. Another man you shared a locker room with, James Taylor, would like to say hello. Thank you, James. James will definitely be back. James is going to be in the state of Mississippi soon. And for now, he's in the state of Alabama. But thank you, James. And it is one more time, you and Naomi together are in the Hall of Fame. So you can share that moment there. And we'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. And anything else you want to talk about for closing thoughts? Anything else you want to plug or promote before we sign off and you can go enjoy the moon for the rest of the evening?
Just check out the website, the Wrestling Creations UK. Check out all my platforms. Stay tuned to all my updates. I always update goofy things lately too. I mean, I'm a big fan of the universe. The last couple of months, I've been just going nuts with everything in space wise. It's crazy.
Yeah, my dad used to always be into that stuff. He would write about about the moon, and he talk about life. I remember forgetting in 8th grade, I wrote a paper about would there be life on Mars, and it's such a fascinating thing to think about. There's just, I look up sometimes, and it's funny, you're gonna laugh. I see helicopters for whatever reason. Every time I see airplanes and helicopters where I live, and then I always look up and think about what would it be like to be on that helicopter, that airplane. I see the stars all the time. I'm out at 4:00 in the morning, 5:00 in the morning. And there's just, there's something I think about the world, and, looking above, I think is always so fascinating. So no, I'm with you.
I think everybody in their lifetime should do it. I mean, everybody should experience the world every once in a while. So
yeah, totally.
I'll be honest. This is what I get to look at. I mean,
that's beautiful. Yeah, I don't got that view. I'm in New York City. Yeah, man, I don't got that view. I mean, I got a different view, but
Yeah, but you can see the Statue of Liberty. I can't.
That's true. I mean, I see a lot of things. I get to see Times Square. I pass by every. My buddy, you're gonna laugh. My buddy Steven Saperstein, who I know is not listening to this, he lives literally right by the Empire State Building. No joke. He lives. Yeah, he's got a fancy apartment. He lives right by the Empire State Building. He's by Madison Square Park, Madison Square Garden, Union Square. He could walk to all of them, Washington Square Park. Yeah, he's got it made. And he was trying to be a politician. I tell him all the time, now you're way better off. You're in Manhattan. You're in he walks to work. It's like that. So yeah, I got other things that, certainly most people don't. My buddy Steven Saperstein definitely would be that. But no, yeah, that's God's country where you are. No question.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, a lot of people are getting so mixed up nowadays about who's left, who's right, and who's this, who's that. Fucking point of life is be who you are,
That's
live
it.
your life, quit
That's it.
living other people's lives,
Yeah.
and just be happy. Because a
That's it.
lot of people in
You
this
know, I
world
tell
are
people all the
so
time.
freaking miserable.
You know what? I tell people all the time. I'm in the happiness business. That's what I mean. I'm not in the business of talking about, who said that. I'm not in. I'm not in the drama business anymore. I'm in the happiness business. People come
Yeah,
here. I'm here to get
yeah.
away from that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's crazy is, I mean, me, you, a lot of people, we always see it on some of these other web pages, and it's like, you know, when we're doing our professional thing,
Yeah.
we're in that moment, we're doing our thing. But when we're outside of wrestling, we have lives too, and
Yeah.
we love to enjoy it. I mean, hell, I told my kids today I should have took you guys out for a damn ATV ride because I would have took them to the lake. I'd have took them right down to the lake and hung out there.
Well, you know what? You'll take Ox McCoy there in a few months, I'm sure. So don't feel too bad. You'll take Ox
Well,
McCoy there, but that's where it'll be. But
but
all right, yeah, go ahead.
stay tuned. I mean, keep up to date. Check my social media pages out, and I'm sure Tom will post it too.
Yes,
And
I
it's
have the
always
Instagram right in front of me. Yep, I have Instagram right in
it,
front of me.
it's just a pleasure to be on your Sportswire radio,
Yeah,
Tom.
you always would have. I'm always amazed at like guys like you who would, like, oh, can I come back on? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I mean, I'll get you in. I mean, yeah, it's always like, you always are like always so wanting to be on. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to have you. I mean, no, listen, I appreciate everybody. I mean, listen, it's I had on a boxer before earlier on today, and he was, he's doing the podcast rounds. And, nice guy, Paulo Cruz, whatever his name was. I gotta keep pronouncing it the correct way, but he was in Portugal, and he was like, I've done these other shows, and like yours was so different. It was just like a different vibe. I'm like, yeah, because I don't really like ask people to come on. It's kind of like I'm a word of mouth platform. I'm kind of like one of these things where we all kind of know each other. It's we've kind of been a community the last 3 or 4 years, and it was great. And I think that's like what's really cool about coming here, and I'm so grateful that you come here. I know Justin Parsley's back here Thursday. Yeah, cheap plug. Justin Parsley's here Thursday, and Anthony Steele will be back, I'm sure, in a few weeks, and Omen Black will be here too, and I mean, Chase Wakefield was here in the chat. So that's what's great. Jake Dvorak was just here. Reyes Silva was here yesterday. So that's what's great. Everybody, we're all like we definitely, we're all a team, and that's what it's all about. And Kato is definitely here. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on YouTube. Check him out on Facebook. Also, he and Naomi are in the Hall of Fame together because I got to give him something because I gave him grief about wearing my Ox McCoy shirt that good old Ox gave me. But I think I have a clip that I'll be posting in a little while from what Kato said about Ox McCoy. So you'll stay tuned to that. And my friend, listen, go enjoy the moon. Go enjoy the wrestling because you're an hour behind me. So you got still another good hour, I'm sure, to enjoy out there. Go find some UFOs, and we'll talk about it on the next episode. All right, that is the controversial one, Kato. You'll see him return to the ring here coming up next month. You also will hope to see him here coming up in the Carnage Cup, which will take place on October the 25th and the 26th. And, of course, our friend, Kato's not-so-friend, Jimmy Controversy, will be a part of that. But we'll see Tarzan Duran and some other people there. And maybe we'll be seeing him, hopefully, again out there with Ox McCoy, this time in Kato's compound. But thank you, everybody, here for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, I'll see you here tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time with the hit marker, ATK. But until then, follow the IMF, follow Kato. Have a great night and enjoy the moon. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one